a million different car YouTubers these days, and what sets my channel apart from those channels is quality and just pure precision.
Now that's a lot of damage!
That is actually starting to look like something. I kind of love that my strip matches right down the center of the body. Cool. What's up, it's Casey from Caseyscustoms. We're back on the 1950 Chevy that I am putting on a 2008 Pontiac G8. And in this video, we get the front end mounted and we also start working on finishing up widening the entire body. Let's get to work. Baby, we are back. Back doing chassis swaps, back doing hot rod stuff. I am so happy to not be working on the 78 Camaro anymore. I got started on it and I didn't want it to just be another project out there. So we went ahead and just hit it really hard for like 2 weeks. It's essentially done now. We'll do some more stuff to it later on, but we're back in the other shop, the small shop. I love this little baby shop. The lighting's better, it sounds better, and really I just got a lot of cooler shit down here. So we're going to be working on the 50 Chevy. In the last video, I got the body kind of mounted. It's not perfect. We just got some tack welds holding it. It's not going anywhere, which is good. But as you can see, our roof still needs fixed. All that is loose, just kind of sitting there. I still need to square the body up a little bit because I think, if I remember right, my sides might be tipped in a little bit. We're going to do some checking, make sure that all checks out. And I want to get my fenders fitting. As you can see, the front of the Pontiac sticks out quite a bit. We can get rid of some of that. We cannot get rid of all of it. I can essentially probably cut to here, maybe. I need to do some more looking at this. I can get rid of this. A lot of this structure is really good, and I don't want to get rid of all of it. So what we'll do is we'll do some trimming here and then also end up lengthening our fenders. My wheelbase is perfect, though, so I don't need to move the wheel well around it all. So I'll probably just come right here and stretch it 3 or 4 inches. What I don't want to do is have to stretch it a foot to match where it's at right now. So we're going to see what all we can get rid of up here and kind of make some stuff work. If I end up cutting this brace off, I can add another one to the frame rails because as you can see, the frame rails are down there. So we can actually shorten that up a bunch. I think this is just an air box if I remember right. Or maybe it's an overflow tube. I don't remember. We need to look at that and see what that is before we start cutting it. But we should be able to get rid of a lot of this up here so that this stretch doesn't have to be so drastic. So let's do that first. Then we'll start squaring up the body. Let's go. All right, so I started digging in here. One, I didn't realize that this is like a plastic. This is not metal. It's like some metal. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like I think that's metal, but it's like sheet metal with plastic. I mean, this whole thing weighs 2 pounds. But it seems like it's a metal composite. I don't know. Anyways, fun fact, I knew this had a new motor in it at some point. They took all this apart to pull the motor because this whole thing is supposed to be held on by about 20 different bolts. I think there was 4. So it just fell off, which is kind of great because I did not realize how much stuff was actually held by the frame brackets and whatnot from the behind. I thought my radiator and all that shit was tied into this, but it's not really. It has these little clip mounts, but those are nothing. We can kind of move some stuff. So we might end up cutting this back. I don't know. I can cut this back and then all that can be tied in just to the front of this and we'll essentially lose a ton of stuff sticking out front. Or we could just make everything up here. I don't know if we're going to get away with not cutting the fenders, but holy shit, we got rid of a lot of room. Let me throw a fender back on there real quick. Wow, I was not expecting that at all. Wow, that is almost doable. I don't know yet because I'm not sure. I might need to go get the grill, but I think the grill has a curve to it. So maybe we can cut the frame back a little bit. I don't know. Oh, that's my alarm. I gotta go. Hopefully it'll turn itself off. Let's find out together. It will not turn itself off. Son of a bitch. Well, we're gonna come back and cut some shit and see what happens. Stop ringing! Okay, we got rid of a lot of space up here. I brought the grill in, and sure enough, it does have a curve to it. I was gonna use this. I cut it down to fit in there, but it's just too bulky. It's not gonna get enough fat off of the rails. So now, we are going with 1 3/4 roll bar. We're gonna get that in there. I just want it to have a little bit of a curve. This stuff is not the easiest stuff to curve, but we're gonna give it a shot with the patented hit it with a big freaking hammer and see what happens. I just need a little bit. I don't need a lot. Let's see what happens here. Let me scoot you back. This could end horribly, so naturally we gotta make sure the camera's on. I was gonna try with the dead blow, but I think we need the big boy. Boom! Headshot! Oh! That's not bad! Oh, no! That's perfect! Yes! Oh, yeah! Oh! Let's weld that in. After that's welded, we can cut these ends off because we won't need them anymore. So I have recently found out I took my good welding helmet and also my Sawzall down to the other shop where the Camaro is. But the great news is, bam! We got the welding sunglasses from Temu. I don't trust these by any means, but they're okay for tax. So, let's get the stupid thing taxed. And the Sawzall work we're going to have to do tomorrow because there's no way I can get my grinder all the way around this giant thing. That is not level at all. Whenever I bent this, geometry changed a lot more than I thought. Okay. Get that welded in a little bit better. Then we can cut some shit. All right. I got the front frames cut off. I got the bar welded in. It needs welded a little bit better, but that's okay for now. We might, I'm not sure yet, we might be able to get away with not stretching this fender. I'm not sure. It's pretty close. I'm gonna break down this grill, front shroud, whatever you wanna call it. I need to take the bumper pan off because it sticks way in. We're gonna have to cut it down, but I don't wanna cut it yet. I just wanna get the grill up there. Now the grill's gonna be too narrow, obviously, because we widened the entire car. So we'll most likely have to end up cutting here and stretching it anyway, but I kinda wanna see if the curve is gonna work out where we don't have to stretch these fenders. I don't know, we might get away with it. Worst come to worst, we stretch them like an inch. They definitely don't need to be crazy like I thought they were gonna be originally. But yeah, damn, I'm really happy with how much we cut out of that. And it's stronger now with the bar in there because these are like, I mean, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but that's like, I don't know. I was gonna say 1/8 inch, but not that. It's more like 18 gauge. It's just sheet metal shit. When you hear it, it's nothing. So the piece of roll bar I welded in is 1/4 inch. I do need to tie it into both sides though. Whenever you do this, you don't just want it on one, you want it to go in here, but we'll do that later. No big deal, that's easy. But for now, let's break this grill down, see if we can get away with something here. That would be awesome if I didn't have to cut these. I'm gonna have to cut them either way because of the width, but boy, it'd be nice to not have to stretch them. Let's find out together, come on. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, I think we can trim out a bunch of this. We're gonna have to trim out this whole bottom bar essentially because of our new crossbar. Once we cut that out, I think this will actually sit, once that's out, it should sit in. Boy, if my fenders were higher, I could run it right there, and it would actually work, but that's going to be too high. I definitely need my Sawzall or my plasma because I got to cut all that bracing out right there. It's going to be a pain in the ass. But once that's out, we can trim this, and I think that'll sit way in there like that, and it'll bolt right up. Man, I would love to not stretch these fenders. I know I've said that 10 times, but I really love not to. Tomorrow, we're going to come in, cut all this out, and see what happens. That would be awesome. Either way, even if we have to end up stretching the fender, this is so much better than expected. I mean, in the last video, I said, oh, we're going to stretch these fenders 8 inches. But I think we're good. Sweet! All right. This was not a bad day, but tomorrow we're going to hit it real hard. I'm just excited to not be working on the stupid Camaro. Show me how you're going to fit the door. My entire body is actually crumpled. That is not just the rocker panel. Everything moved. There's like a ripple way over in the drive shaft tunnel. Just a really shitty car. Yes! All right. I went and got the plasma cutter, a couple other things, my good welding hood, which makes life a lot easier. This is so rusty and shitty. I don't even know if the plasma cutter is going to help much, but we're going to give it a shot first because I got to make a giant cut and then a bunch of little intricate brackets in there need cut. So let's see what happens. Let's cut some shit. Okay, I got some spacers on both of my fenders. Both the fenders are mounted. Those are held in with Clecos, so I know my gap is good. It can still be adjusted, but I know it's good enough. What I don't want to do is start getting my front end mounted and this grill kind of centered and stuff and have that fender overlapping the door or something. So those are just temporary, but they're going to hold for now. I got a lot of stuff out of the way. I already can tell we're going to have some issues with the hood because of how high this is. So we're going to have to cut that down some. I don't think I'm going to tackle that just yet. What I do want to do is get this grill mounted, but I really want to get these two fenders tied together somehow. I think I'm just going to put a piece of, I don't know, square tubing or something behind it, and then we can get it actually welded together. Because right now, when these fenders sit, they just kind of hang everywhere, and you actually want them in a bunch like that. And then when you pull them in like that, it's straight down the side. So we need to figure that out, get both of these over here, and then get some kind of mount going across here. And then what we can do is start fitting our grill. I already know I'm going to have to come in here and cut this out and extend this whole corner on both sides, probably 4 or 5 inches on each side to get this over here, and then we can actually bolt the grill in. So I'm going to focus on doing that. I really want to get the roof together and stuff like that, but it would be nice to have the front kind of dialed in. So let's just stick with that for now, and then we might start messing with the hood, might start messing with the roof, but you got to tackle this shit one thing at a time because there's just so much going on. So if we can get the front good and square, then we know everything is lined up and we can start working our way back. I just said all that to say I got about 2 hours worth of work. So yeah, let's get this going so we can get to the next step. All right, check this out. I got a bar welded in that is tying both of my fenders together. They are the exact same length from here and here on both sides. So everything is square to the frame. Now the body might be crooked, but we can still tweak that later. We're pretty good right now. Both of my gaps look good, so I think we're all right. But everything forward, backward, all matches all the way. So not too bad. That's a hell of a good start. Now, I got to butcher the living hell out of these fenders to make this grill fit. But, hey, we're committed now. Let's roll, baby. I got her sitting there. It's just held in with clamps, but everything is square, side to side, up and down, all that bullshit. Looks pretty damn good. I was worried that that bar that I put in was going to stick out too much, but it looks fine. You can barely tell. And we also have the piece that I can put over the top of it. So I'll probably do that, but that'll be a later project. Yeah, I love it. I'm not going to fill these in completely yet. I don't know, I might, depending on what I end up doing. I guess you'll find out in the next video, but I was going to work on something else, but either way, we definitely got to get this welded so it's not just held in with some clamps, because I had it perfect. And I mean, I'm talking a 1/16 of an inch this way. I'm like tapping it with a hammer. I got it perfect. And then I kicked that jack stand and it fell on the ground. I was pissed. So we need to weld it before it goes somewhere. I'm really happy with how it's coming out so far. I got exactly 3 inches on each side. So it's going to be 6 inch wider in the front. So the goal with the hood is these 4954 Chevy hoods, well, a lot of longer than that, they are actually split right down the middle. There's a seam that is welded. It's not even welded, it's actually like clamped. You can actually undo that seam. And so the plan will be to split the hood, and then we'll just have a 6 inch section right down the middle. That is best case scenario. Obviously, when you do a chassis swap, stuff can change, and maybe, you know, maybe we gotta finagle it a little bit to get our gaps right, but that should be pretty damn close for us. So let's get this shit welded in real quick. Front clip is on. I'm gonna grind these welds real quick just so it looks better. And then I think I'm gonna throw some bars across the roof because I just hate looking at it like that. And then we might bring the hood in and see what we can do with the hood. It's getting late, but I kinda wanna keep going. So let's keep going. I'm gonna grind these real quick, and then we're gonna, I'm just gonna put some square tubing across the roof to kind of hold it up. Doesn't need to be perfect, but that way we can kind of get our sheet metal figured out later. Certainly not going to do the sheet metal yet because that's a giant pain in the ass, but I would like to get the roof reinforcements there. But I want to clean this up first. I really like how this came out. Man, that looks good. Cool. Still got to weld it all the way, but that's okay for now. Let's make some roof braces. I need to go get the hood too. The hood is over in my little storage tent. Oh, it's gonna be a bitch, but we gotta do it. Sweet. That took forever. If the curved piece on the inside was just off like a 1/2 inch, the whole side would look high. And then needed to, oh, it was a mess. Took me way longer than it should have, but I got them in there now. I just got a couple tacks on them and they're screwed in. That is gonna be perfect for now, and then we can get our sheet metal going on top. But I am not doing any of that yet until we start getting our windshields put back in. If you didn't see before, I cut the entire rear window out and the entire front window. The reason I did that is because this is curved glass. You cannot widen curved glass. You might be able to get creative and, you know, cut 2 pieces together and have a seam. I've never had any luck with that. The times I did it when I was younger, whenever I widened cars, I would use Lexan, like a bulletproof Lexan, like 1/4 inch, something like that. And that kind of works, but it never looks as good as it should because it just doesn't have the right curvature to it. Also, it scratches real easy. I would always love them, and then I'd wash them, start wiping them, and you just have all these scratches all over them. So don't want to do Lexan, so you just cut the whole thing out, and then we got to piece it back in there. But what I want to do for now, before we even start this way, I've already committed to starting at the front. We are going to break this hood down. I need to get rid of all these braces. I need to split these bolts. You can kind of see a couple bolts there. Here's the pieces that hold this seam together. There's a couple rivets, and then they have a piece of metal that's twisted. That's actually the trim. Kind of holds it. You got to drill all that shit out. But whenever we get done, we'll have 2 hood pieces. So it'll make it a little bit easier to try and widen. If this was just a normal 1-piece hood, like the Mustang was, it's definitely a lot trickier. So let's get this baby broken down. I think the last time I did this, it sucked because you have to cut this rear brace out. Yeah, we'll see. We got the plasma if we need it. Holy crap, that's a pain in the ass. There we go. All right, let's go see how this thing fits. Probably not great if I had to guess. Holy shit, that's better than I thought. It's obviously bad, but I thought it was gonna be worse. Maybe I'll change my tune whenever I put this one in there. So I know I gotta trim this, or just get rid of that. Actually, I can just get rid of that real fast. And then my corners aren't fixed yet on the Pontiac's firewall. Looks like something. All right, it is, I think it's 4 in the morning right now. But I gotta get the video to Richard, friggin' cop. 3:52. Okay. Well, let's trim this hood some. And then tomorrow, what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to push it outside so we can get a walk around. But let's try and get the hood fitting a little bit better before I go pass out and fall asleep. All right, let's roll. Quick like a bunny. There is a million different car YouTubers these days, and what sets my channel apart from those channels is quality and just pure precision. I don't just throw shit together. I actually have a plan. I have to get a micrometer out. We measure everything out to the thousandths of an inch. I'm not just hacking shit together on this channel. Really taking our time to making sure it's done right. This pillar's out too much. It's got to go in a little bit.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Oh, that's pretty damn good! My goodness. I don't have any structure in the hood right now, so it's like a wet noodle, but it's not bad. Check this shit out. Oh, it's not bad. I gotta get this. Oh, I just realized what I did. I messed up. I just realized what I did. This is not supposed to be here. This needs to be trimmed down. Oh, my little bar that I put in earlier for my support was too high. I think I knew that and forgot about it. Let's cut that out and then refit the hood. Holy shit, that might have fixed all the problems. Not too bad. I don't love the gap over here, but we can fix that. It's kind of the same way on both sides. We can take care of gaps later. I kind of love that my strip damn near matches right down the center of the body. Cool. I think I might, well, I don't know. I was thinking about putting a little piece in here just to hold it together for now, but I don't know. I need to kind of bend it around a little bit. I think I'm going to work tomorrow on it. We'll see what we can get done. And at the very least, I want to push it outside so we can do a walk around. because I can't really see very good when it's on this side of the shop. Just about fell on my ass. I kind of love how high that hood is. Usually I pancake these. Well, not always, but a lot of times I'll pancake these. Pancake, you'll take a strip right out of here, take like an inch out, and it'll give it a real sleek look. But I kind of like the bubble hood on this one. I don't know. I'm sure I'll change my mind tomorrow when I actually have some sleep. Cool. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Sweet! Man, I got a lot of shit done on this car. Oh, I really love it.
The next day.
Wow. I look like an asshole that needs some sleep. And that's because I am an asshole that needs some sleep, but I kind of want to do a little bit more before we push this thing outside. The video is naturally running late. Deal with it, Richard. I think I'm going to get the front windshield kind of placed up there just so we can see what it looks like. I kind of want to do that with the rear windshield too. I'm hoping it doesn't take very long, but it's probably going to. And then we're going to push it outside while we still have a little bit of sunlight. I went to bed last night at like 7 a.m. and then woke up at like 2 p.m. and now it's 6. So I got a little bit of sunlight left. There's not much, but yeah. Let's throw some shit together and then push it outside. Now I already know that this windshield is going to fit perfectly. But I figured I'd turn the camera on for the first fit, just in case. Just so you can see how perfect it's going to be. I was joking about the perfect, but it shouldn't be that bad. It's a little better. We might have to widen this windshield. I don't know how the hell we're gonna do it. Maybe you make a 3-piece windshield where you just cut that centerpiece out and you'd have a flat piece there, maybe? Boy, I think that'd look like shit, but I don't know how much I like the... Obviously, this needs to lean back some, but I don't know how much I like this pillar here. Kind of got away with it on the Mustang. I don't know if I'm gonna get away with it on this. I don't know, let's trim some shit real quick and then we'll try again. Because it could definitely be fitting better, but oof, we might have to split that bitch. We are going to have to do a ton of work to get this windshield figured out. I kind of knew that going in, obviously, but here's the problem. None of these curves match because obviously the hood is wider and the windshield frame isn't. So I am actually going to pause on this and I want your guys' opinion. You guys know I do this every now and then. Let me know what we should do. I don't want to run Lexan because like I said, it scratches, but I think if I trim all this down, even if I remake all these corners and shit, this post isn't going to look right. On a Mustang, it was okay because it already had a flat post. This is your post normally. It just goes right here to the door. So I don't know that I like that. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know how to play it, to be completely honest with you. If we split it right down the middle, since it's a 2-piece windshield, technically both of the sides would still work, but then you would have a 6-inch flat section. So I don't know, maybe you could use clear silicone glue maybe and then kind of make it seamless. I don't know. I don't know how you do that. Normally it has like a piece of trim right there. I definitely wouldn't want to put 2 of those because I think 2 pieces of trim and then a piece of glass would look really silly, at least in my head. So yeah, I don't know. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to pop that windshield out. Let me know what you guys think we should do. I'm going to push this baby outside, kind of get a walk around because I can't see shit when I'm this close to it. And we'll probably call that the video. But damn, she's looking pretty good. Other than this is kind of a train wreck, but I knew it going in. I could make it work. Also, once I trim this, it'll lean back. It's certainly not going to be that far up. It'll lean back the way it's supposed to be. But this whole section here, I'm just not so sure about. Holy shit, that looks cool. Wow. That is actually starting to look like something. Still got to come up a little bit in the back. I don't want to come up too much because I kind of like the rake. I got to come up a little bit just to fix the trunk spot. I really don't want to cut all the way back here to make this trunk fit, so I'm going to come up a little bit. I don't know, though. I might. I kind of like it when it's got that little tail dragger stance on it. Cool. I got so much room in here. I mean, there's room for a supercharger if we wanted to. I'm joking. Cool. That's badass. I gotta move some of these friggin' cars around too. CRX is coming in tomorrow. Very happy to be back on the CRX. Then we can get some stuff moved around. And I like this car a lot. Holy shit, I like this car. Okay, I thought about the windshield situation last night, and I think I'm probably gonna end up widening it, but I still wanna hear what you guys think. I think that's gonna be the best way to make it look good. I just don't know how we're gonna figure the glass out, so I might need your help. I don't know, maybe we make our posts. I'm not sure, it can go either way. I got about 10 minutes before I gotta get this video done, and what I wanna do is I actually wanna start fitting up the rear window to see how far off it is. I already know this is from the old package tray. This needs to come down a couple more inches because when I first sat it up there, it was hitting this and it was way too high. So I'm going to cut this down real quick and then we'll throw the rear window up there and kind of see where we're at. Then we're going to wrap this baby up. So let's go quick. Too much. I get this held up with some jacks. We'll see how it is. Doesn't look too bad so far. That is not too bad. And one cool thing I can do with the rear window that I cannot do with the front windshield is if I want this belt line to match, it will be easier to like cut right in there, cut this out, and then bring this whole thing over. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do yet, but that'll be on the next episode, but I might end up doing that, bringing this over. This is easy to make, but that belt line will be a bitch to make. Definitely with a curve in it, but if I had it over here, it'd kind of just be a straight piece. Also, that would tie this in a lot easier. So I don't know, but it fits 10 times better than the front window does. Oh, yeah. Cool. That don't look too bad. The only thing I can't do is I can't go in here because that'll mess up my trunk mount. Technically, my trunk will still bolt to this and be fine. We'll have to end up widening it, of course, but we'll do that on the edges. That way we don't mess with this mount system. Should be able to latch and all that shit. And the more I looked at videos last night, I'm going to probably figure out a way to cut the trunk. I don't know yet. I don't know. It just looks good with a little bit of ass laying down. You know, a little bit of tail dragger stance. You got to put it out there for the ladies. Give them a little, you know, get it laying on its ass a little bit. Cool. That's just held in there with clamps, but whenever I get back on it, I'll probably tack weld the top just so it kind of holds it together, and then we'll build around it. Because my trunk is lining up, but because this angle changed so much, my belt line isn't lining up. But as you can see, the trunk drip rail or whatever that is pretty damn close. So yeah, we'll have to cut it in a million pieces, but I'm really friggin' happy. Cool. Also, fun fact, we're gonna probably chop this. So I was worried about the glass and stuff. I don't know, we might end up having to figure something out anyway because we can chop it. The good news is a stock windshield you can cut down, you know, like 2 inches off the top. Pretty easy. It's not the easiest. But it's doable. But yeah, there's a lot of variables going on when it comes to widening a car. I think it's 8 inches, if I remember right. I think I had 4 inches on each side. I thought it was 3 at first, but it was actually, I think, 4. And then this was, I think, 7.5 or 8. And then up there, it's even more in the very front because of the way the crown kind of broke down a little bit. But she's starting to look like something. We are doing a budget build on this one, under $5,000. I'm not going to add it up now because I don't know where it's at. I think we're like 35-ish, so we're not too bad. And we got a lot of stuff we sold and whatnot, so we should be pretty good. But it'll be a challenge because all budget builds are. Sweet. Check this build out. This is like the world's most difficult puzzle. 1950 Chevy, widened 8 inches because it is on a Pontiac G8 with a 6.0 all aluminum LS. And if you think the widening part was tricky, look at this back windshield. Holy crap. That's going to be fun, and the trunk is going to be even harder. Don't even get me started on the windshield. It's going to be a whole other thing. Also, fun fact, whenever I finally get the roof all done, then we're going to chop it. Probably going to take 3 inches right out of the middle of it. I really like these business coupes because they got short roofs on them. So yeah, they're not the easiest to chop. But yeah, hey, when you're putting together the world's hardest puzzle, you're going to have some issues. God damn, she looks good though. Very happy with what we got done on this video. Front end looks awesome. So happy. I think I'm most likely going to end up widening the windshield, but let me know what you think. Just in case anybody is curious or you're not familiar, I've seen it in my comments before is why I'm bringing it up. A lot of guys will say, just widen the window and have, you know, custom glass made. That is ungodly expensive. The only person I've known who had a custom windshield made, he spent like 10 grand, and that was probably a decade ago. I think that was 2013 or something when he did that. What they do is they make a mold first, and then they'll do the glass off the mold, and just the mold alone was like several $1,000s. So it's a giant pain in the ass. Custom glass is not, if it's not flat, it is incredibly expensive. So that's why whenever you see guys chop cars, they never worry about the side windows because that's all flat glass. Who cares? It's like 40 bucks. No big deal. But when you start chopping the windshield, that's when it can get expensive and tricky. And I've shaved down glasses before. I did it on my 55 F100. I think we took 2.5 inches out of the windshield, but it took like 3 tries. It was a bitch. It's not fun, and I'm no expert by any means, but yeah. Let me know what you think, what we should do to the windshield. Boy, she's looking good. I'm really happy. Stay tuned. If you like this build, I'm going to be having more videos on it. Right now, we cleaned up the shop last night because the CRX with the giant V8 Chevy in it is coming in. I'm hoping to get the brakes done. I really want to take it for a drive. I should have all the parts here for it to at least, if we're not going to take it in for a drive, we're going to make a big dent in getting it ready to drive. So stay tuned for all that and more. Hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel grow. For the coolest merchandise on the planet, go to Caseyscustoms.com. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment, all the good shit they tell you at the end of videos. Check out some of my other videos. Peace. I love you. It looks good.